All right, everything's blocked out in the 180, and then I came back and put everything exposed in the opening here with 400 grit. I'm just going to spray some epoxy over the bodywork for right now, and then I'll come back and while that's curing, I'll finish masking off the car with some plastic just to keep the high build primer off of it. And I'm going to let this sit overnight and prime it tomorrow. It's getting late now, and I'll have to wait an hour after I put the epoxy on to then be able to prime it. So I still need to put some masking paper or tape behind these holes in where the handle goes, but I'll do that right before I shoot the epoxy, and then I'll let it sit overnight, and I'll come do the primer tomorrow. Okay, that one coat is enough. Just trying to seal off the metal, get some good adhesion to it. The primer is not direct to metal that I use, so that's why I use this. I'll let that sit, and I'll actually prime up a little bit over this body line, because that up there there's just slight little bit of distortion there that I could block out with probably one coat of primer. And I need some in here where I work this out with a PDR tool, and all over the body work. And I'm gonna actually have to go into this handle pocket, which I really don't want to have to do, but it's gonna be unavoidable with this job. All right guys, we're ready to go here. I'm gonna be painting the whole side of the car. It's the body work area. I don't think I need to seal this, but what I might do is cover this while I cover this with paint. Just cover the front three panels, then come back here. It's the only place I'm gonna have to blend it that really matters a whole lot. I'll have to come up the door, but I can't mask the door off while I do that, so I'll just let the paint blend into this pillar while I do this. Not going to paint the back of this door, it doesn't need it. But I can't do this or mask the top of the door off since there's no seam. But back here there's no reason to paint this part. You also got the mirror hanging over here. And it came assembled like this, and I don't want to risk breaking anything taking it apart, so I've got it masked. Got to spray some adhesion promoter on that before I can get the sealer going, so I'm going to do this first. Go mix the sealer. Come back and do this first. Alright, we're ready to seal the fender. The tripod mount just broke, and I don't have time to rig anything up, so I'm just going to show you what I'm doing as I go. I won't be able to show the actual application, but what I've got here is I've got 3 sheets of paper to cover up that door. I'm painting that door anyway. It's not a big deal if I get overspray on it, but I don't want to have to clean it off if it's rough. So I'm going to put one more sheet up here to cover this part since it's a blend area, and I'm going to clean it one more time. Now that it's masked off, I can just clean the fender by itself, and I'll get value shade 3. The color is it's called Shimmering Air Silver, value shade 3 right there in the center of the screen. So I've got 2 ounces of value shade 4 in here and 1 ounce of value shade 1, this white sealer. Mix the 40 right there with the 10 to get the value shade 3. I've got the hardener in it now. I'm going to get that in the gun. I'm going to put it on the fender first, come back here. Got one little cut through right here. I sprayed a little adhesion promoter over that, since this is not made for, the sealer's not made for bare steel or bare metal, but it is okay for a cut through. But I went ahead and sprayed that since I had it out for the mirror. And once I get these 2 spots on here, the mirror over there will be ready to go, and I can pull it down and spray the sealer on it. I've got to wait till 255 to get the mirror sealed. I put the adhesion promoter on it at 240. I gotta wait at least 15 minutes, so 255 I can put it on the mirror. But I'll get this in the gun, get the fender and the spot back here done, and by that time I'll be real close to being ready to do the mirror. Alright, I gave the sealer about 10 minutes to dry until it got mostly flat, and I pulled the paper, that way I wouldn't drop the paper into the wet sealer. And hit the spot, let me get back here, hit that spot right there. The reason I put that adhesion promoter was because I wanted the dry edge of that sealer to stick, for sure. Probably would have been fine, but I want to give it something wet to land into. Mirror ready. As soon as it hit the 15-minute mark at 2:55 over there, I shot it real quick with the sealer I had left. You can get by without sealing this, but if you spray directly over the adhesion promoter, you don't have very much cushion under the paint. It'll chip a lot easier. So I went ahead and sealed it. Now I know that it'll match exactly, even though it's standing off from the door a few inches. There shouldn't be any problem with it matching. And also these door handles are chrome, so I'm not painting those. This one I actually am going to replace, handle and the cap. And this one up here is just going right back in. So now I'm going to wipe down these other 3 panels again in the top just to make sure they're ultra clean. And I'm going to be putting the 222S over this whole door here. Well, both of these doors have 400 grit scratches, so I don't have to put an adhesion promoter on those, but I just need to go from the A-pillar all the way up over the roof rail and all around here and down the quarter. That'll get the 222S for the blend. So what I'll do is I'll mask off this door or the quarter here, and I'll put, I don't know, 2 coats of paint at least to get coverage down the side here, and I'm going to have to let it come up the pillar a little bit since I can't mask off that part of the door. And I'll get coverage on the side here, and once I've got coverage I'll pull the paper off back here and just blend it on out down the quarter. But I can't go past, really don't need to go past here where the bumper starts, so I'm just going to have to work right in this area. That should be plenty of room though. I'm going to go ahead and get the 222S out. As soon as this is flashed, I don't want to spray on it too early. I've got to wait till 3:05 or 3:10 for that. But I'll be back after I've got the base coat, at least 1 coat of base to show you that. Alright, just got the base coat on a few minutes ago. Ended up putting a second drop coat over it. Some really coarse metallic in this, and didn't want to lay out just right on the first drop coat. But this turned out pretty nice. Blend, I've done better, but it's still decent. It's still drying right now. I just finished the blend. Still got some wet spots in it, but anyway. Had to go a little further than I wanted to, but it should still be okay. Everything looks good that I can tell. I'm going to go ahead and let it sit for about 15 more minutes. Get the clear coat mixed up. Shoot that, and I'll show you a shot of it after I get done with that. Alright, clear coat's on. And all the way across the roof. This is the bodywork area. I'll show you the mirror. It's over here. Get it off this hook. I don't know that I can with one hand. I don't want to drop it. Painted all the way inside into the glass pocket, so everything's slick. So let it sit here for about another 20-30 minutes, and I've got to move my car over here to get another one inside. And one of the next jobs, hit a deer, caved the windshield in. I'm gonna fix the roof. We're gonna do some PDR work after I get done that I won't do, but that one will be in the works. I'll get this one uncovered here in about 20-30 minutes, and I can get rid of all this plastic and start putting this thing back together tomorrow. I'm gonna start with the headlight and front bumper just to get the front end finalized, and then go back to the back, get all the trim put back in it, and I'll mount the mirror when I get to that point. Alright guys, it's 10:45 at night, so I've got to be a little bit quiet, and I won't be able to film this thing tomorrow. They're coming to pick it up while I'm going to work, so give you what I can here. Just finished washing it. I think it turned out nice. I didn't buff anything on it except only thing I buffed was one little dust nib right here in the door. that was right in there. There's some other ones in it, but there's nothing major in there to even worry about. Turned out pretty nice. Everything looks pretty good. Blend looks decent. It's a really coarse metallic. It's hard to blend that stuff out. And that quarter's got a curve to it this way, so when it meets up that bumper, it's actually showing there. But in the sun, it looks all right. Looked at it yesterday. All depends on the angle. See you guys later.